Hey, Mr. McLaren here. So I want to make a support for this assignment slash alternative. So basically, this assignment has you going through and looking at a couple different chemicals and trying to think about how many atoms and molecules there are in this. When I am thinking about the main point of this, it's really identifying the atoms and molecules, which I have a hard time doing without modeling this a little bit. So I want to show some models and help label some of these things to help you out a little bit here. So I've made this, which is kind of like an alternative. I'm going to kind of work through it, and you could continue. You could do this instead of the other assignments and then submit this fully completed, is what I was thinking. This is less calculation. This is more like kind of following along and doing the modeling and thinking through it. So if we have H2O, if we're trying to think about what that is, that's hydrogen. There's 2 atoms of it, and oxygen, and there's only 1 atom of it. So there's a total of 3 atoms in this molecule. And what I want to do is do some like drawings to kind of help you guys out with this. So we'll have this be oxygen, or O is typically what you see for that. And we'll make it a little smaller because you don't need that big of an oxygen molecule. So that'll be our oxygen. And then I'm going to, I just copy pasted it. I'm going to make some hydrogens. I just know myself that these are typically modeled as a lot smaller because they are a lot smaller. And so we've got some hydrogens that are going to be bound to that oxygen. You could represent that a ton of different ways. I'm going to just do the ball and stick model, kind of like that. Sometimes it's represented as the H just next to the O. But this is the way of me showing that these are bound to each other. They're all one molecule. So what I was thinking was labeling the molecule is kind of like, if I were thinking about this, it's this whole thing. So like, I was thinking you could do a box around this. You can also make the box transparent, so it's just like a border essentially, and be like, oh, the molecule, that's this whole thing. This whole thing inside this box, that's the molecule, right? And if you want to do that like some color, I suppose you could do that. Let's go with like red for that. And then I wanted you to label also like an atom. So you could be like, hey, this right here is an atom, right? And then what we could do, I'm going to do some additional labels. I think, yeah, I should probably have you guys labeling the individual atoms. So sorry, I'm going to just tweak this a little bit. I'm going to make there be 2 of these. This is going to be the H atom, and I'll make a second one for the O atom. So we've got H atom, and there's 2 of them. And then an oxygen atom right here. And this is not a compound. All right, no, this is a compound. So this, because it's got 2 different molecules, is also a compound. So you've only got 1 molecule here. Yeah, actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy, paste that, and then just make it a little bit bigger. Let's maybe make that purple. That's going to be for the compound. I know it's kind of weird because this is the part where people are like, wait, hold on. You're saying compound and molecule are the same thing. I thought they were different. Molecule is the number of compounds that you have present. So I only have 1 molecule here. And the molecule is H2O, or water. So, oh, I just realized I'm covering up my calculations. I need to move myself. Let's put me up here. We'll do that, yeah. So without those labeled, I'm gonna actually also just because I wanted to maybe label those like different colors. You don't have to, just might make it look a little bit nicer. You can beautify this as much as you want. So you can do like a nice little diagram or something like that. Now, what I was thinking would be a little bit different is for this guy right here. This is just going to be 2 hydrogens. I'm just going to honestly just going to send this to the back so I can click the other things. Oh no. Maybe I should just make another one. So we've got some hydrogen here, and it's going to be just bound to another one because they're in the same molecule. They're bound together. These 2 different atoms. So here I've got 2 different hydrogens bound together. And if I wanted to do these same labels, I can be like, oh, I'm actually just going to reuse that. These are 2 different H atoms. And then once again, I believe that I could probably just copy paste this whole thing. Something kind of like that. Because in this case, actually, this is not a compound, so this does not apply. So you see what I mean? Like, you have to be kind of careful. Because compounds, they need to have 2 different elements. Like this right here has 2 the same element, 2 of the same type of element, right? So it might also be a good idea to label elements in here. I'm just realizing. Yeah, you don't have to. This is just what I was thinking would help people kind of keep track of these atoms and kind of fill us out. So if I look here, there's 2 atoms. And in this one molecule, there's 2 atoms, right? And then if I'm looking at this guy, that's going to be honestly very similar to this. You could probably replace the H's and the O's and it would with these guys and it would work out the same. Just make sure you got 2 of the chlorine atoms. So I'm going to leave those ones for you guys as ones for you to work on, 4 and 5. 5 and 6, these I wanted to do because it's basically the same as what we have here. But now we've got, not going to take that, we'll just take these. I just was holding down shift and clicking on the things that I wanted to get rid of if you're curious about what I did there. So here we have 1 molecule. I want to have 2 of them. So I think what I'm going to do is make there be like something kind of like this and then like have there be a second molecule. Can I maybe make this go to the back? Yep, and then I'm going to actually just duplicate that. I'm just copying, clicking on all of those with shift, and then hold on, Control C, Control V. So I've got a second molecule of this, right? And then what I can do with this is kind of do something like that and say, hey, in this case, sorry, send that to the back. I'll try and have these set to like logical orders. Okay. I suppose I could have just drawn another red box if I really wanted to, but I want to make it the exact same size. So in this case, we have 2 different molecules of the same compound. So it's, 1 molecule, 2 molecules, same compound, it's still water. And I suppose I could draw another green arrow from here down to there. And these, yeah, let's do that really quick. Because that also goes there. And then this. Also go here. And that should also go there. Okay. So here we've got, in the two molecules, we've got, it looks like 4 of these atoms, and then we've got 2 of these atoms. And then in 2 molecules of water, that means that we have a total of 6 atoms. Oh, that's a shame it didn't fit. That bothers me. There we go. Beautiful, right? So that's the idea here, is that I kind of was wanting you to identify molecules and atoms. And I think that should help you with some of these calculations. And I want to show you also what these things look like. Again, you can either do something where you're trying to draw out the chemical and label the parts to do this calculation, or you could try and do the one with the more challenging calculations if you feel like just going through it quickly. I hope that this was helpful for you. I can do more chemicals. I might just do one more just to get you started. I'm going to sketch out this one for you guys so you can check it. But remember, this is a check. I'm not doing it for you. I want you to try this out first. Pause it and then try it, okay? Okay, this is kind of what I had. We should have the 2 fluorine. Should have the 2 chlorine. Carbon, that's in the center there. Yeah. So, there was one other quick thing that I forgot to mention. I think I forgot to show you with the periodic table how you find out what Ba, C, and Cl are, and like F and all these things. You're probably like, wait, what? What do I need to do? This periodic table here, it has all the different elements. So like we've been talking about like hydrogen and a lot about oxygen and like carbon, you know. So you can look for the letters like the Fe. You might even be able to search on this. I bet you can, yeah, you can use Control F to search and find it on here. So Fe is iron, it's ferrous, it comes from its ferric, which means metal, right? Not everyone doing chemistry was speaking English. Let's just say that. I think it's French as well. Okay, so yeah, that should help you with getting those letters. All right, well, either do the calculation or drawing out as much as you can and labeling the parts.